Hi everyone and welcome to episode 128 of the Talk is Cheap show. We've got a great show lined up for you today. But before we start, it's my great pleasure to introduce my co-host, show analyst, former professional footballer, social media influencer and icon, Mr. Curtis Shaw of Curtis Shaw TV in the house. What are you saying, bro?
Sounding, bro. That was a better intro. They've been a bit short the last few weeks, you know.
How you been, man?
No, I'm good, man.
What have you been
Happy
up
to be here. Same old content. Obviously, birthday this week and that. So
Yeah, tell the people, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the 21st this week.
Well,
right?
yeah, because when you get older, you start going backwards, isn't it? So, yeah, man. But yeah, just building up for that, and obviously, pre-season starts again next Monday. So
Of course.
the team will be back.
Talking
so,
of pre-season, it was good to see you turn out for AFTV FC. We've got a football team, as you guys may know, and Curtis is one of our better players, and he came on, impact sub at the weekend, had a very good game.
No, good to be back, man. Obviously, with all the content and the channel, haven't been able to play as much, so it was good to come back. And obviously,
It's good to have you
got the
back.
Claude Cup coming up this week.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, you got some minutes in, and Curtis is going to be turning out for AFTV FC this weekend. Big game, big occasion on Sunday, Sunday the 26th of June at New River Stadium. In commemoration of Claude. You all know Claude Caligari, beloved AFTV contributor. Charity tournament, this was it, AFTV FC, Hackney Wick, SC Dons, The Wall, 4 great teams going at it, and you'll be part of it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it?
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. Obviously, you know, Claude was a big character on AFTV, and obviously with the football team.
Yeah, he was a coach.
He was a
of the
coach,
AFTV
and
FC.
you know what? He was a lot more calm as a coach. You know, you've seen him on camera with Arsenal often going mad. As you know, as a coach, he was always the more calming influence in the dressing room, and he was, you know, a big character, sorely missed. And obviously, hopefully, we have a great day on Sunday and lots of people down there. And
Listen, people, if you're not doing anything on Sunday, man, the weather's going to be nice in North London. Get yourselves down there. It's for a great cause, the Gunnar Claude Trust, I believe.
Yeah.
Like I said, 4 great social media teams. Be very competitive. It will be fun. Lots of people, nice weather. It's going to be a great day out. So if you can get yourself down there, do that. I think the tickets are, what, £6?
Yeah.
But it's a great cause, man. Like we said, the Gunnar Claude Trust, so get yourselves down there. Okay, moving on to news and notes. Couple of things I wanted to ask you about. Last week, we kind of missed out on it a little bit, but there was a big furore about Eddie. Eddie signed a 5-year deal, and as part of that deal, it was revealed that he will be wearing next season the number 14 shirt. Now,
the
I know
iconic.
the iconic, worn by the likes of perhaps the greatest player to ever play in the Premiership, certainly one of the greatest players to play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry, Aubameyang, you know, I mean, even though it ended badly, but for a while, man, he was the man.
Yeah.
Theo Walcott as well. So that 14 carries with it a certain legacy. And there was a lot of people who had a few things to say. Not all of it was complimentary towards Eddie, I've got to say. But what was your thoughts, bro? Because, I mean, even Ian Wright got involved in it. And
Yeah.
it seemed to be a big thing. What was your thoughts there, bro?
I mean, you know what? Sometimes you make comments and you look back on it and you think, you know, maybe I need to adjust my school of thought with football because, you know, for me personally, I think that number 14 is iconic at Arsenal. I think Thierry Henry made that an iconic number. I think, you know...
I think I know where this is going.
Well, you know, certain numbers at certain clubs, 7 at Man United with George Best and Ronaldo and all that. I think 14 at Arsenal, I think Thierry did make that iconic. And I got to be honest, I felt... I wasn't happy seeing Eddie with the 14. I can't lie. I know some people will say it's just a number. And, you know, listen, one thing I want to make clear. I respect Eddie for saying,
But-
I'll take it. Why not? Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's not hiding. He wants to prove himself. I think that 14 does mean something at Arsenal. And I think you should be at a certain level before you're given that number. But listen,
So basically what you're saying, he's not worthy of the 14
it's
shirt.
not I don't want to disrespect him. I just think when that 14 is held in such high regard, listen, no one's going to reach Thierry's level. So whoever takes it is going to be a downgrade on Henry. But I just think to see Eddie after half a dozen good games, gets a 5-year deal, 100 grand, number 14, I just think
He got 5 goals last season.
Oh,
He's on his
yeah.
way.
It's not quite there yet. But listen, it is what it is. If he bangs in goals next season, then so be it. But I was a little maybe I'm a legacy fan. I've still got shirts in my wardrobe with Henri 14 on the back. So.
No, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean, last week, kind of Twitter went into a bit of a meltdown about it. I remember me and you speaking on the phone, and we had quite a long conversation about it. I mean, my view is that, if I'm being honest, I would have preferred Eddie. Whilst I respect the fact that he's had the gusto to, ask for that shirt or to wear that shirt, I would have preferred almost if he'd have taken a different shirt. So say he takes 15, then that will be. The 15 shirt will be something that he can make his legacy moving forward.
Yeah.
By taking the 14, and with all that comes with it, it could be argued that he's bringing a lot of pressure on himself. Now, listen, if he's confident enough to shoulder that pressure and say, listen, man, bring it on, then fair enough. But I don't know, you can look at it both ways. I think some of the criticism was a little bit out of pocket, though, if I'm being honest. I saw some of the comments on Twitter and I thought, come on, bro, like they were proper going in. And that, of course, led to Ian Wright coming out. And he was quite forceful in his response. And he was basically saying to people, lay off. But yeah, it was an interesting debate. But listen, man, we hope Eddie scores as many goals as he can. And, does that number 14 worthy. So we'll see how that goes on. Talking about strikers, there's another thing I've got to ask you about. It's not Arsenal related as such, but it does carry some resonance in the football spectrum. Lukaku, we now know that he's going back to Inter. Some people saying, some seasoned observers saying it's probably the worst bit of transfer business in history. I just wondered what you thought about it. The 97 million to Chelsea that was supposed to bring them the title and other honours. It was a total flop. Wasn't it?
I think it's got to be up there as one of the worst. It's not so much that he's played and failed, it's just the whole transfer in general. I mean, he signs for Chelsea and he's talking about, I was there at 16, I'm desperate to come back and prove myself. And then 2 or 3 months later, I should have never left Inter Milan. I think he really betrayed that club by coming out with that interview. And I think as soon as he did that, he was finished at that club. And it was interesting that Inter Milan, their ultras, put out a statement saying, listen, you ain't coming back here with open arms, mate. You got to prove yourself again.
No, they went further than that. They were actively putting it out there to other fans not to welcome him.
Wow.
I saw that.
I didn't even read that bit. That's crazy. So he's now caught in between, but
unrequited love.
Yeah. I think he made a mistake there. That's for sure. But
well, we'll see. Listen, if he goes there and bangs in the goals, you know what football fans are like. They're fickle, innit? If he goes there and he starts scoring goals, I think they will. But again, another man that's put pressure on himself. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I would tend to agree with you. That piece of business for Chelsea was awful. I don't know if it's the worst ever, but it's amongst the worst. Definitely.
I think because it's Chelsea and they've got the money, it doesn't affect them as much, but it's definitely a bad one.
It's not good. It's not good. But hey, man, that's not our business. Okay, then. So with the news and notes out the way, I thought for this week's show, we could talk some more about transfer activity, Arsenal-related transfer activity, and maybe look at the direction of travel as far as Arsenal's concerned, and ask Curtis if he thinks that direction of travel is in the right direction. Because in the past, we've all been critical, myself and you, of Arsenal's transfer activity, but it would appear that this season they're making some genuine, would you say, strides to try and get things done. Let's just start by having a look at some of the recent acquisitions. Fabio Vieira, creative stroke attacking midfielder, signed from Porto, 31.5 million, comes with a lot of good recommendations. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, look, when you're an Arsenal fan, I think any signing, you kind of cling to it and try and find the positives. As I've said before, I haven't seen the guy play much. I think I've seen him play live twice. Most of it I've been on YouTube, typing in compilations. He looks technically a very good player, got good numbers, creative. He's a bit slim. I think he's going to have to get a lot bigger. Yeah, that was the one thing I just thought. I mean, listen, you shouldn't let, first impressions or size just, judge a player, but he did look a bit lightweight. That was one of the first things I thought, man. I thought, right, you better get in that gym, bro. Yeah, quick. The Premier League's unforgiving as well, but Listen, it'll be interesting what position he plays.
Do you think he'll get a lot of minutes? Or
I think he will, because Arsenal don't often drop 30-odd million.
yeah, that's what struck me. I thought 31.5 million is highly unlikely that he's just going to come and sit on the bench for the season.
Yeah, I think he'll get game time. So, listen, hopefully he's a good player. I think we need more creativity in the team. So let's hope he can help us.
Yeah, man. I mean, and the manager spoke in with a glowing reference.
Yeah. What was interesting, the former chairman of Porto put out a statement saying he couldn't believe that Porto had sold him and that it was lower than the release clause. He said he was their best young player. So, I think, listen, he's got high recommendation from Portugal, but it's just whether he can translate that to the Premier League. It's a very higher standard league, I would say, more physical.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm quite excited about the guy because, like I said, I keep hearing how good he is, and you don't want to stereotype too much, but Portugal do have a habit of producing very good midfielders. So if that's in keeping with what we've seen before, then it should be a positive for Arsenal. Right. So since the last show, we've been heavily linked with Rafinha. In fact, we've put in a bid for him.
Yeah.
So it seems like, without wishing to be too presumptuous, that could possibly happen. Yeah. And I know from having spoken to you previously, you think Rafinha would be an asset.
Yeah, I would be a fan of this deal. I think I do think we need another winger. I think Pepe will probably move on this summer.
Who?
Yeah, remember that guy who paid about £72 million for?
Right, yeah, I seem to remember some YouTube videos circulating.
But no, I think Rafinha would be a good signing. I think he was top scorer for Leeds last year. He's in the Brazil squad. I think he wanted to go to Barcelona. I think it's no secret, but because of their financial issues, maybe we can benefit from that. And I always think if Arsenal are going to make an offer for a player and put it in the public, they must have had the word from him that he's willing to join us. So if they can negotiate that price, I think he'd be a good signing. 25, scored goals in the Prem, played in the French league, physical league as well. So I think he'd be a good signing.
Yeah, you know what, I would agree with that. And as you alluded to there, having played for Leeds in the Premier League, done well, he's battle seasoned, battle ready. He could go straight in and do a job. So I think that would be a good signing. Yeah, I'm quite excited about that because he is a good player.
Yeah,
I think he can only enhance a team like Arsenal.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Now this is one that that I'm quite sort of motivated for. It's not quite happened yet. And again, I don't want to sound too presumptuous, but sort of reading between the lines, it's looking like it could happen. So I'm a little bit excited about this one. Gabriel Jesus, striker, Man City, obviously. We know that a few other clubs have shown an interest in him, which, in a way is a good thing because it shows that the guy's a quality player.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Jesus?
Yeah, I mean, we've spoke about him before. I think we've got to get that deal done. I do think we will get it done. And like I said, you look at the striker market right now, there's not a lot of quality there. If you can get him, again, 25, Brazilian, played in the Prem, knows Edu, knows Arteta, knows Martinelli, it's a no-brainer. Even the fact he wore number 9 at Manchester City and number 9 is currently available at Arsenal because Lacazette
14's gone. So.
Well, we know 14's gone.
It's gone. Sorry, Jesus, but
it's gone in more
14's
ways.
Gone, bro.
Yeah, it's gone. But,
but
number 9,
number 9's all right.
Yeah,
number 9's all right.
Yeah, so I think that will happen. They were saying today that they've agreed personal terms. It's just a case of sorting out the fee with Man City. So get it done quick though, because Lukaku's leaving Chelsea. They might need a striker. So
well, Chelsea are one of the teams that were expressing an interest apparently. Likewise Tottenham. Likewise Real Madrid. So listen, man, we want to get this business done.
Definitely.
We all know he's a good player. Again, like Rafinha, Premier League battle ready and tested. Let me ask you though, do you think he will? Well, I think he will get regular starts, but could you see him and Eddie in the same team?
I think he'll be more one or the other. I think they'll rotate the two. I mean, Jesus has played wide occasionally, but I think if you got Saka, Martinelli, maybe Rafinha, Smith Rowe, I think we'll be overloaded in wide areas. Maybe occasionally, if you're chasing a game, you could play them together. But I think more Jesus would be number 1 and And
Could you
Nketiah
not play him
number 2.
off the strikers though?
Yeah,
just in behind.
maybe if he was, trying to be a bit more attacking. They're quite similar players in how they play, quite press from the front, bit of pace, penalty area, you know what I mean? They're quite similar, so in terms of the spaces they occupy. But yeah, if he was chasing a goal. But
Because it is a possible conundrum, isn't it? Because if you think about it, Eddie signed this 5-year deal. It's $100,000 a week. He's acquired that number 14 shirt. So I would have thought Eddie and his people, his agent, etc., there's probably an expectation that he's going to get regular game time.
Yeah.
Now, if you sign in Jesus, I mean, I don't know what the ballpark figure is for him. What are we talking about?
I think they're saying
50.
wages. I think around 50 million,
Yeah.
and they're saying close to 200,000
Yeah.
wages as well.
And if you're trying to tempt him to come to Arsenal, especially with all the other speculation surrounding with as far as other clubs, I'm pretty sure that his people, his representatives are going to say, well, listen, okay, if I come, what's the situation? Am I going to get regular football? Or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So
if
how
he's
do you
fighting it out
balance
with
it
Eddie
too?
for...
I think if you're
First team.
Jesus, though, you should be thinking in your head, like, I can keep Eddie at bay. You know what I mean? You've just been battling Aguero for the last 4
Something
years.
tells me that you're not wholly sold on Eddie.
Listen,
man, you know what I mean?
listen,
that
Ed-
vibe I'm getting from you is
Listen,
that,
I hope he proves me wrong next season, but
yeah.
you won't see me with 14 and Nketiah on the back of the shirt. I can't lie. I'm not there yet, but maybe he proves me wrong. But no, I think we're in Europa League as well, so I think Eddie or Jay, they'll both get a lot of game time this season. I think you can rotate them. Even if you take one off, I think they'll both get lots of game time. So.
And it could be a thing as well. I mean, I know you kind of hinted at it earlier with Smith Rowe, Saka, and Odegaard, and 1 or 2 other people. You share the goals around, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think back in the day it was you have your top striker, he bangs loads, and the rest get a few. We've seen that with Aubameyang and that. But I think if you look at what Man City have done the last few years, I think he's trying to do something similar. You can get 10 or 15 out of Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, a Jesus and Nketiah, maybe a little bit more. I think that collectively gets you enough goals to maybe get in the top 4. So I think they're trying to kind of share the responsibility around that.
No, that's interesting thought. I mean, let's be honest. I think Liverpool have done a similar thing, haven't they? I mean, you know, Salah, Mane, Jota, Diaz, and guys like that. So, yeah,
we should have good.
That could be the way the modern game is
potentially
going.
have a front 3 of English players and Brazilian players. So you could have Smith Rowe and Nketiah and Saka as your 3 English, and then Jesus, Rafinha, Martinelli, your 3 Brazilians. So bit of samba at the Emirates,
That's
man.
right, yeah. So I think it's fair to say that next season our top scorer won't be Gabriel.
No, we don't want Gabriel the centre back. We don't mind Gabriel Jesus, not Gabriel. I don't want the centre back, being
Gabriel Magalhaes.
I see he just flown out to get the thingy, didn't he, man? Did you see that video? He got the hair.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. He's on it, man. He's got to look good for next season.
Yeah, he's going to have dreadlocks next year, man. I tell you. His hair's going to come flying.
Right, not Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Marley.
He's going to do the Andros Townsend, man. He's going to have hair all over the place.
Andros got the best of all time.
Yeah, that's the best.
Trust me.
That is the best.
Go back and look some pictures of Andros Townsend when he was playing for Tottenham, and you'll see what I mean.
Yeah.
He's got the best. Whoever done that. Sometimes when people get, I know I'm digressing a little bit. Sometimes when someone's got like a really good double glazing job, and then they put the advert of the company outside their door so people can make the connection. Say, oh right, have you seen down the road they're double glazing? Yeah. That's what Andros should do, man. You know what I mean? But anyway, moving on. I've got to ask you, this one was on and off. Now seems to be kind of back on a little bit. Lisandro Martinez, left back.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that. I mean, I think we made an offer for him. It came out of nowhere again. I know he can play centre-back or left-back. So I think they're looking for somebody that can cover 2 positions. Obviously, Tierney's injury-prone. I think they're trying to maybe loan out Nuno Tavares.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed if they do that. Yeah, because listen, I see, whether it's just me, but I see some real potential in that kid. Yes, he's made some errors. Yes, there were unforced errors. But surely a guy like Arteta can sort of coach him the right way and, get the best out of him.
I think
it could be a rough diamond. Is
it could
basically
be, yeah.
what I'm saying.
I think maybe he thinks he ain't going to get enough football. If he goes on loan somewhere, he gets a full season, and then you bring him back, maybe he'll develop more. But I know what you're saying. There is ability there, but there's also flaws in his game.
Yeah,
I think
I get that. I get that. And then, like you said, with Kieran Tierney, excellent player. Unfortunately, the injuries are starting to become an issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess they fear that they have to address that situation.
I think the problem with this deal now, I think Ajax, they sold Gravenberch, they've sold Haller. So 2 of their best players have left already. So I think Man United are trying to sign Anthony, their winger. We're trying to sign Lissandro. Anyone turning up now, they're just bumping the price up. So this is the only issue. With I think we offered 30 and they're looking for 50 or something. They're going to pay 50 million for someone that might not start every week. So I'm not sure, but I think that'll be a difficult one to get done.
Because that was on.
Yeah.
Then it kind of subsided a bit. Now I'm seeing more and more where that might be back on again. So it seems like the club are...
Yeah, well, at least they've identified targets and they're going for them. So.
One that I'm going to ask you about, and we have spoken about it on the show previously, that was on. Now it appears like the interest may be waning slightly. I'm going to ask your opinion. Tielemans.
Yeah.
Now, I was a fan of Tielemans, and I still am. I think he could do a good job for us. I would welcome him at Arsenal.
Yeah.
But it's kind of gone a little bit cool, hasn't it?
Yeah, why this one worries me. I mean, The Athletic put out this report saying that buying Tielemans now could be dependent on Granit Xhaka leaving. And I haven't really heard much about Granit Xhaka leaving. No. So I'm like, all of a sudden, we're getting into a situation where you think Xhaka's going to survive again, isn't he? You know? And then I'm even seeing reports now that they've signed Vieira to kind of play Partey as the lone centre midfielder with maybe Vieira and Odegaard as 2 number 8s in front of him, which I'm not sure about that. It's a bit different. Man City plays something a little bit similar. Me personally, I'd be disappointed because I do think we need another centre midfielder. I think Tielemans he wouldn't have been top of my list, but I still think he's got that creative quality that we kind of lack in the middle of midfield. 25, 30 million, he's got a year left, knows the Prem. Yeah, I think I'd be disappointed if we didn't get that. I do think we do need him.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if we didn't get Tielemans because, and again as well, if we don't get him, it's likely that he's going to go somewhere to one of our rivals. Yeah. I could see him ending up with Newcastle or
Newcastle are rivals now.
Well, I think that they will be a legit threat to us.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, that's a subject for another show. But yeah. So Tielemans, I'm a little disappointed that that's not still on because I would welcome them. I mean, what do you guys think? But I would welcome Tielemans in the club.
Would, yeah.
Right, so we've had a little snapshot of some of the recent business and some of the transfer speculation. I'm going to ask you, are you happy with that? Is the direction of travel what you're looking for? I mean, I saw an interview with Edu, the other day, and he said he's excited at what's going on.
Be excited, Josh Kroenke.
No, but you know what? It's the first time I've kind of heard him come out and be so effusive. Even the energy of his voice was like, I'm very excited. We're very close to getting a lot of people are going to see that we mean business. And I kind of like that talk.
Yeah,
he was sticking out his chest a little bit. I was thinking, this, compared to previous seasons, I'm filled with a bit more optimism.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask her is, are you happy with that direction of travel? I mean, okay, we might not get everybody I've just listed there.
Yeah.
But are you, as of this moment, anyway?
I would say I'm more positive than I've been in previous times, but I still have that caution that until I see these guys holding up the shirt, it's just because we've been here before, Luis Suarez, all that. With these men, we're all coming to Arsenal. You know, like you said, maybe they need to add the pound. That extra pound might get them through the door.
Well, we're going through a cost of living crisis, and maybe they should say, "Well, we'll pay that," and maybe a little cost to cover the inflation.
Yeah, maybe some petrol. You know, with the price of that. But no, listen. What I do like, what I've been reading is that Edu is now working with a lot of agents that Arsene Wenger didn't want to work with a lot of the top agents. Because Wenger used to say these agents, they're like sharks, they're taking all the money. But the reality is, to get some of the best players, you've got to work with these agents. It's how football is. Edu's working, I think George Mendes' company, Fabio Vieira's agent, works with them. So we're now starting to work with these mega agents again. So we've probably got contacts now with more players. But yeah, use the Brazilian link, man. Edu was sporting director of the Brazilian national team. So get the Rafinhas, get the Jesus, get these guys in, man. They're good players. You know, a few Brazilians at Arsenal, we don't mind that, as long as they're not like, you know.
Well, there's some lovely Brazilian restaurants in London.
Yeah, man,
in
easy
Stockwell.
to,
It's not that far. There's a few in Camden as well. So
easy adjustments. So, listen, the direction looks more positive, but you need to seal these deals. I think, in particular, Jesus and a midfielder.
Yeah, I was going to say, out of those ones, which ones excite you the most?
Rafinha is exciting because I think he's got a little bit of an X factor about him. I think he's got a bit of magic about him. I think he'd excite the fans.
He's quite a passionate guy as well. Yeah. When he was at Leeds, he was always, you know what I mean, amping it up.
And apparently, like that. He played for the same youth team as Gabriel in Brazil.
Oh, right.
So then there's a connection there.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a bit of a feisty character. I think he got 9 yellow cards, which is a lot for a winger.
It is.
But yeah, sometimes you need that passion, as long as it doesn't spill over. So,
I think that's something that Pepe, even though I'm an admirer of Pepe, I think at times he seemingly lacked that, didn't he?
Yeah, that fire in his belly, man.
Yeah. Pepe could almost seem a bit too laid back.
Yeah.
Almost like he's falling over.
Well, a lot of the time he was falling over. Listen, I think interesting that Pepe's former manager is in talks to become the PSG manager, and they're saying PSG might sign him as a backup player. I think Pepe has got talent. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I just don't think he suits Arsenal and maybe the Premier League. I think he could go somewhere else and bang goals in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's a quality player, man. Just because it didn't work out for him, or seemingly hasn't worked out for Arsenal, does not mean to say in any way, shape or form that he's not a good player.
Yeah.
And I think if he does leave, whoever he goes to next will probably enjoy a better level of service than what Arsenal got for whatever reason. But right, so do you consider the business that Arsenal are doing like a statement of intent? Are we putting ourselves out there and trying to... Because I notice, the reason why I say that is because not a lot of the other teams have done a whole lot of business. Yes, you know, City have got Haaland and Liverpool, Darwin Núñez, and Tottenham have made a couple of acquisitions, Bissouma, to name but one. But Chelsea haven't done that much. United done next to nothing. And even Newcastle we spoke of, you know what I mean? They're not just been writing checks with reckless abandon. So I think at the moment it's fair to say that Arsenal are one of the teams that are
going for it.
That seem to be doing a lot of business. So
and do you know
is that encouraging?
It is encouraging because for a long time we've said, get your business done early, take these players on tour, start that season with your new signings, give them that time to embed into the squad. And I do think there is a slight attitude change this year from the club in the transfer market. I think they're making offers, they're trying to get players in early, they're going for some exciting players. It's just getting them over the line. And so it is an encouraging start. And I think Edu's took a lot of criticism since he's been in that role. But I think now he's got an opportunity to show us how good or bad he is in that role. Because it seems as if, I think Arsenal are going to spend a lot of money this summer.
Yeah, it would appear so.
I think we'll spend more than last summer.
Yeah.
And we spent
40
million or something last summer. So
do we need to give Mikel Arteta, the manager, a bit of credit for that? Because I remember a couple of weeks ago on this very show, myself and you were saying that there was 1 or 2 rumours out there that Mikel Arteta was voicing some displeasure.
Yeah.
That there wasn't enough urgency around the signings and that, you know, he was basically behind the scenes agitating. And we were saying, wow, it's the first time we've ever seen that energy from him, you know what I mean? So do we need to give him some credit for that?
Yeah, I think, listen, sometimes you've got to go against your boss a little bit. It takes bravery, but, you know, you don't want to just look at him and think, he's just manipulated by the Kroenkes.
Yeah.
You've signed that contract. Go to them and say, listen, this transfer window, we need to get the players in quickly. Because every player that we're linked with, there's 3 or 4 other names mentioned all the time, other clubs trying to get them. So if Arsenal are going to progress, they've got to get these deals done quickly. So Yeah, I big him up for that. I think he needs to do a little bit more of that to them, push them a little bit
yeah,
and say,
yeah,
if you want me to do well here, you got to get me the players.
And I could envisage a scenario where Mikel Arteta, in his numerous meetings with the likes of Edu and people like that, will say, listen, man, we got fifth, we were on the verge of getting fourth, we was a couple of signings away from not getting that over the line, we just missed out on the Champions League, which is becoming a bit of a holy grail for Arsenal, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If you back me, I can assure you, look what I've done, 2 8th place finishes, now a fifth. This is what I'd be saying if I was him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd be saying, listen, man, if you back me, I guarantee you, come the end of next season, you'll be getting that Champions League football that you said you want, and the fans definitely want, and the players want.
That's what he's got to put it to them.
Yeah.
But I think this year is the year where if they give him the players, I don't think there's no hiding place for him this year. He's got to get them Champions League football, whether that's top 4 or you win the Europa League. So I hope we get the signings in, because I don't think we need loads of players. I just think we need
the right
players. Yeah. We need a goal scorer. We need a better midfielder, a couple of exciting players, a few squad players. Saliba's back, hopefully. And,
listen, man, there's
not a million miles away.
There's some green shoots in that garden.
Yeah.
And you do make an excellent point, which is if they do back him, as we hope they're going to do, then like you said, there's no hiding place, because there is the other side of being given a lot of money to spend, which is if you are given money and you spend it, there's lies within that pressures, you know what I mean, that you have to deliver. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I would say it's looking good. And do you think that if we get those proposed acquisitions, do you think that we can get that top 4 place next season?
If we got those players you just mentioned, so obviously Rafinha, Jesus, Tielemans, Lissandra, I think we'd have a very good chance.
Very good chance.
Very good chance. Because they're key positions that need filling. I think they're all good players, upgrades on what we've got.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in closing, you've heard it here. It would appear anyway, based on news that we're seeing and speculation, that things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
I remember us having a similar show to this last year where it wasn't as positive. The energy wasn't the same. So big up to the club, man. They are trying to get things done. And let's hope they can get some of those deals across the line and take the club forward in the right way. Right, okay, my man. Coming to the end of the show now.
Yeah.
Thanks again for making the trip, coming in, man, on this lovely day. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Going to mention it again, the Claude Cup, in commemoration of Claude, AFTV, legendary contributor who passed away so sadly last year. This is the inaugural Claude Cup. It's taking place this Sunday, the 26th of June, New River Stadium, North London. 4 massive grassroots YouTube teams, AFTV FC, Hackney Wick, SE Dons and The Wall. And that's taking place at 12 p.m. this Sunday. Get your tickets, £6. All the money that's collected is going to a very noble cause, the Gunnar Claude Trust. We hope you all make it, you all turn out. Anything you want to say in passing?
No, listen, just obviously hope people can come and support. And obviously Claude was
Get down there, man.
a legend, and we should have some good matches down there as well. It'll be competitive, man. So yeah, man.
I've spoken to quite a few people who are going to come. So as long as the weather holds up, which I'm looking at the long-range weather forecast, you can never be too sure. But it's looking positive, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming in.
No worries, bro.
And keep supporting the show. Please send us your opinions on what we spoke of today. Do you think that Arsenal are travelling in the right direction? Are you excited by some of the players being linked with? Do you think that the club are moving in the right direction? Let us know. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully see you on Sunday. If not, see you next week. Take care.